Welcome back. I'm certainly glad you could join me today. You ready to do a fantastic painting with us? Super. Hope you got your paints out and you're all ready. Tell you what, let's start out today and have run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us. While they're doing that, come on up here and let me show you what I've already done. I have a black canvas up here today, as you can plainly see, and I've covered this with black gesso. Now, black gesso is designed to make the canvas black, but then we let the black gesso dry completely. And onto that, I've added, we've taken some alizarin crimson and phthalo blue mixture, and we've just painted the whole canvas with it. As we've worked out from the center, I've added a little more blue, so it gets progressively darker toward the blue side as it goes out. And I hope all that makes sense. It's just alizarin crimson and phthalo blue. And we've covered the entire canvas. All right, and to that, let's have some fun. Now, I love to do these kind of paintings when we're doing public demonstrations, for example, because people don't know that you've already put color on this black canvas, and we use transparent color. And you start off and all you do is put a little white on your brush, and you go up to the canvas like so, and you touch this canvas, and all of these fantastic little colors just begin to happen. And people think it's magic. Especially, as I say, if they didn't see you put anything on this canvas, it's really a super way to draw a crowd if you're ever out demonstrating publicly. It's a lot of fun. And watch here. Maybe we'll just do like this. Just make little rocking strokes. Let's just bring it right on around. There we go. Like so. And all I'm using here is just straight titanium white. Nothing else. Just straight titanium white. And you can create some of the most beautiful effects. Now, if this is going to be our lightest area, and I think in our painting today we'll have that as our lightest area, be sure there's nothing in the sky that's lighter than right here. Just like so. Okay, just make all kinds of beautiful little effects. And we're not too worried at this point. All we're doing is just throwing in a little color. We'll come back with a big brush and we'll smooth it all out and blend it together. Just putting in some color right now. Just enjoy. There. Okay. Now you can do this with any transparent color that you want on this black gesso. And sometimes I get letters and they say, how do you tell if a color is transparent? The easiest way, I'll tell you what, let's do it. Watch here. Let me take a little touch of bright red, for example, and bring the camera right up here. Now see, if you put bright red on there, it still looks red. Boy, does it look red. Now, stay in that same spot. Let me take a little bit of, this is phthalo blue, and when I put it on here, see, it looks black. That's how you tell if a color is transparent, or at least transparent enough for our particular purposes. There we go. Of course, now I have a blue and red finger, but that's all right. Now, with a good, clean, dry brush, and I can't stress enough that it be dry when you go up over this, because if it's wet, has a little thinner on it, you're going to mix all these up. Very gently, making little crisscross strokes. Very gently. Just begin blending this. And you can blend it to any degree of lightness or darkness that you want. Because there's color on the canvas, the more you blend this, the darker it's going to become. There. See there? Just like so. And it's unbelievable some of the fantastic little things that you can make happen in the sky. So easy. It's a beautiful way to do sunsets. All you need is to cover this with straight alizarin crimson. Then put a little white or yellow on it. You can't believe what happens. Oh, beautiful, beautiful sunsets. They just jump out at you. Okay, let's have some fun today. Shoot, every once in a while, it's a lot of fun just to get a little bit crazy. Take a little bit of lavender. It's made from phthalo blue. I reach up here and grab some alizarin crimson. Just lavender color, a little more crimson into that. There we go, nice. Okay, let's go right up here. Maybe right up in here, lives in our world. Use just the corner of the brush. Just a happy little cloud right over this area. Right over it. Just a happy little cloud. Floats around, has fun. Just let your imagination go. You don't have to be crazy to do this, but as the old saying goes, it helps. It does help. There, and maybe that comes right on around like so, however you want it. another little thing right in here, wherever. Okay, now then, we'll go back to our 2-inch brush. Be sure it's dry, because if it's not, you're going to run into Agony City here and you're going to be upset with me. And I want this to work for you. Barely touching it, just grazing it. Just going to blend it a tiny bit. And then we're going to give you a bravery test, very lightly. Just go over the entire thing. Just go right over it. And that easy. You have a fantastic little cloud just laying up here in your sky. And that particular cloud is just, oh, it's a perfect place. Let me just use let me find a clean brush. That one's too dirty. Get a little bit of titanium white on my fan brush. And you can do this with a 1-inch brush or whatever. Come right up in here, grab this, and just pew. See, let a little light just play right out of that. Touch it. You need to do this fast, though. If you do it slow, it doesn't seem to work. Do you know how ever so often you can see the light rays just slipping right out of a cloud? That easy. Now then, there, I'll just take my finger and I go right around, and I'll bring that dark back over part of it. See how that pushes that light back and just brings that dark cloud right up there. Super, super little way to make that work. There. That easy. That easy. You've got a fantastic little sky. Okay. Tell you what. Let's build us a little mountain. For that, we'll take some black, some Van Dyke brown, and alizarin crimson. Just mix it up like so. Take the knife, cut off a little roll of paint so it's right out on the edge of the knife. Okay. Now we have to make our first big major decision. Where does your mountain live? Maybe in our world, our mountain just sort of lives right here, wherever you want it to live. There. Maybe there's a little bump there, and maybe it just comes down like that. Scrape off all the excess paint. Really get in there and really scrape hard. You're not going to hurt this. There. Okay, let me wipe off my knife. And we'll take a large brush, and I want to grab that and pull it. Just grab it and pull it downward. There we are. Okay. Now then, today let's have some fun. We use titanium white. Go reach right up here, grab some dark sienna, and just pull that through so it's sort of marbled. I don't want to overmix this. A little touch of Van Dyke brown in there too. But mostly dark sienna and white. Let me wipe the knife off so you can see this very plain. Okay, we have our paint pulled out very flat like that. Now take the knife and just cut across and get our little roll of paint off. That multitude of colors that you see here is also on the knife, okay? Now then, barely touching. Just let that touch and just slide right down there. A little bit right there, right there, there. Okay, we go right up in here. Isn't that pretty? See there? That easy, you can do it. You can do it. You can do anything. And you need to believe that. Anything that you believe you can do, if you believe it sincerely and strong enough, you can do it. You can do it. And I sincerely believe that. I don't think there's any limit to your limitation. Add a little blue to that same color. Okay, I'm gonna reach over here. I'm gonna get the small knife. I like that little knife. And let's go right up in here. Little knife gets in these small areas sometimes better than the big one. And I'm just going to put, see there, a few little indications of some shadows here and there. Just like so. Maybe we'll just sort of bring these around and, see there? Put a little valley right in there. That easy. Over here, we need a little something. Don't want that left out. See, and you can let a little of this dirt spill over. Just use your imagination. You know, to me, painting represents freedom. On this canvas, you can do anything that you want to do. Anything. It may be the nicest thing that happens. I'm gonna let's take a little bit of white, least little touch of phthalo blue in it. I'm just making sort of a light blue. That's all I'm looking for, just light blue color. I'm going to sneak right in here, just barely touching. And maybe there's a tiniest little bit of snow that's laying down in this valley. Lay a little color in there, and then just barely give it a little pull. Let it sort of blend together. Snow's old and it's dirty. There. But it makes a little light spot down in there. Okay, back to our original little colors here. We can come right back in here. Just like so. See how you can create little valleys and just there. Watch. There's one. Go back in here. We need a shadow in between them. Like so. And we can take our small knife in here and there. We can drop back in some little dark edges. Boy, that'll just make some deep shadows way back in there. There's just no limit to the number of things that you can do. And mountains teach you better than any other single thing how to use a knife. If you can make mountains, then you can create rocks and stones and buildings. In some of the previous series, we've painted entire paintings using nothing but the knife. And that's a lot of fun. That knife is just spectacular if you let it work for you. But it's like everything else. You need to devote a little time to practice with it and make it your good friend. Now then, with a clean, dry brush, I want to very gently tap the base of this. Just gently tap, like so. See, following the angles, that's very important, that you follow those angles. There we go. Over here, the angles are going this way, so that's the way you tap. When I tap the brush like that, all I'm doing is knocking off any excess paint that I picked up. It's easier than going through that whole cleaning procedure there. Boy, isn't that a son of a gun sticking up there? It's a nice mountain. Now then, take a little more of that white on my fan brush, and maybe you want this light, some of it to zing right across here. Now this really is your bravery test. Be very careful. Just barely touch. See, you can bring a little bit of that right across that mountain, but please be careful here. Just barely graze it. Barely graze it. Okay, let's take the old 1-inch brush. Let's have some fun. 1-inch brush, we'll go into some titanium white. I'm going to be right back. Get a little bit of blue. And titanium white. Okay, now then let's go right up in here. Just blue and white. Maybe there's a little footy hill that lives right in here. Just a little foothill. All I'm doing is tapping downward. There, see there? Just sort of decide how you want your foothill to be shaped. Now you can also, let me show you another way here. I'd like to show you as many possibilities. Use the corner of the brush and pull down. That makes more rounded type things. See, it just sort of depends on what you want in your world. You can have ones that look more like evergreens, or you can have ones that look like rounded. Maybe these are birch trees or maple trees. Well, I don't know. Trees that are basically round on top. It's up to you. In your world, you have to make these kind of decisions. There. Okay. And we'll just tell you what, maybe this just comes right on across. Like so. Like so. There we are. Now then, I want to, once again, create that illusion of mist. I'm going to take the large brush and just tap the base. I like these nice, soft, misty paintings. There. All you're doing is firmly tapping right at the base of this. This is where you take out all your frustrations and hostilities. Really get in there and sock it. Like so. and then lift very gently upward, very gently. Okay, let's have some more fun. Let me find, there it is. Shoot, when you get my age, you start losing things. Couldn't find my fan brush for a second there. Use some Prussian blue, black, crimson. Just mix them together here. Good dark color here. We're looking for a color that looks black. Okay, load a lot of color into the fan brush. And maybe we'll put some distant little trees back in here. And all I'm going to do is just tap. See, the dark against the light. You're always playing games with light and dark colors. There. Dark against light, light against dark. That's what makes your painting stand out and look special. There we go. There we go. See there? You can do it. There. That's a lot of trees. Did you ever believe you could do a whole forest that quick? You can. It's a lot of things that you just, they're easy if you know how. And we want to show you how to make it work. There we go. Okay. Now then, I'm going back to my fan brush that has the white paint on it, or the light color. It can be light, blue, it doesn't matter, whatever. Touch and pull gently up, and it'll give the indication of little tree trunks that are far, far away. Far away. And if you get one that's too bright, just continue to rub it, and it'll pick up that dark color underneath. There we go. See there? That's all there is to it. Now then, as I say, if they're too bright, all you have to do is just continue to rub them, and they'll go away. That's all there is to it. Okay, get me a clean paper towel here. Now then, let's put some little grassy things in here. So we'll just use this old dirty brush. What the heck? I'm gonna go right into the cad yellow and tap. Just tap. I reach up here and get a little of that dark green, a little sap green. I want to darken that up a little bit. Don't want it too bright. Just tap. But see, you go down and let it slide a little. I'm exaggerating, but that's what we're doing when we tap, so that there's paint right on the tip of those bristles. Now then, maybe there's a happy little meadow right in here. Watch here. All you have to do is just tap, and you can begin creating a beautiful little soft meadow that lives back in here. And look how it stands out. Stands out pretty. Okay. There we are. Just let it go. I want it a little bit darker. There, that's it. And then start in the back and work forward, forward, forward. Always working forward. Isn't that super? There. And this tapping with a brush to make this grass, this is one of the neatest little effects that we've came up with. It's so easy. And I know we have so many questions about it. Just the other day in our newsletter, I wrote a long article about how you do this and how you make it work. Because so many people have written they like this. And there just isn't time in a 30-minute show to answer all the questions, though I do try. There we go. All right. I was talking to a fellow the other day and asked him, I said, what's your religious orientation? He says, what? I said, what's your church preference? He says, red brick. So sometimes it's good just to have fun. There. Okay. But see how this is creating layer after layer of little grassy areas? Just like so. Okay. And on this black background here, boy, that just shows up like crazy. It's beautiful. And you don't have to put any base color down because the black is already there. Your dark color's already there. Sneaky. I love these black canvases. They create some of the most striking effects imaginable. There we go. Okay. Shoot, let's really have some fun. You know me and my big trees. I like big trees in paintings. But when you're painting at home, if you don't want a big tree in your painting, leave it out. Or if you don't want a mountain in your painting, or if you want 2 mountains or 3, it doesn't matter. You add or subtract to make your world. This is that same color that I was using. Tell you what, maybe there's a little tree that lives over here somewhere. Right here, just a small little tree, sort of back in the background. There he is. Little evergreen. Hey, we can put an arm or 2 on him. It just sits out here in the sun and has fun. See there? Happy little tree. Happy little tree. Somebody wrote me one time, they said, everything in your world seems to be happy. Absolutely. There's enough sorrow in the world. Shoot, you can just watch the news if you want to see bad stuff. In this world here, everything's happy. Now then, maybe right down here toward the base, I want to put the least little indication of a little highlight coming, striking from there. Just a little highlight, don't want much. Take my brush here, tap in a little touch of that color around his foots. We're in business. Shoot, that was fun. Let's do another one. Van Dyke Brown. Just use a lot of Van Dyke Brown here. Let's go right over here. Maybe on this side, maybe there's a big tree. I mean, a big old tree. And he's all gnarly and bent. And, oh, he's had a hard life. He's like me. He's been kicked around and beat, banged. Oh, poor old tree. Poor old tree. There we go. See there? Give him some character. Shoot, old straight trees aren't always the most interesting. I like them old trees that, boy, they look like they've been stepped on or something when they were little. Okay, now we can just take a little white, a little bit of dark sienna. Let's go right back up here. And let's just, this is our light source right here, so let's just come right along in here and let's put a little bit of light right out here on this edge. See, just tap him in. Just tap him in. There. As you work back, use less and less pressure so it gets darker, and it makes that tree look round. See, there. There we go. Gives him some roundness, not just a flat old tree out here. See, we give him a root that comes on out here. We don't know where he goes. We don't even care. There, a little bit of grass right around the bottom of his little foots. Big foots, just big foots. Okay, now I'll take my liner brush, dip it in some paint thinner, go right into the Van Dyke Brown. I want this paint to be thin like ink, almost water consistency. All right, let's have, I don't want to cover up this area. That's the prettiest part of the painting, or I hope it will be. But we can have a limb or 2 that's getting close. See, now if you have trouble making this paint flow, it just means that you don't have your paint thin enough. Add a little more paint thinner to it. It'll flow. It'll flow. There. Maybe there's one. Right there. See, wherever you want them. Wherever you want them. This one here maybe comes around, maybe bends, comes right on around this way. Tree limbs just grow every which old way. There. And we don't want them all just projecting from the side. There, some of them, as I say, come around in front of the tree, some are behind, just hover. There we go. See there we are. Boy, that's a rough looking old tree. He's had a heck of a life. Take a little bit of light color here. This is a little bit of the phthalo blue and white. And just here and there, add a little touch of highlight so you can see a little light striking up through here. Now then, let's take our number 3 fan brush. I'm going right back in that same old dark color. I think that was some Prussian blue, some black, some brown, some crimson. Okay, let's go back up here. Now here and there, maybe this old tree, just push upward. Maybe this old tree has a few old limbs hanging around here. Just a few. There we go. See, most of them are gone because I don't want to lose that area. But here and there, there's a few. Okay, I'll wash that brush out. I'm going to go right into white. And once again, there's a little of that phthalo blue left in it. Just a cool color. Let's go right back up here. And I'm just going to push in the indication of a little highlight here and there. Boy, isn't that something? Look at that rascal sparkle. Now then, tell you what, let's have some fun. I love these. Bring the camera right up here so you can see the whole thing. And I have contact paper on here, and watch what happens when I take this off. Isn't that fantastic? That's one of the super little ways of making a striking painting that I've ever seen. And with that, I'm going to take a little red on my liner brush, thin it down. We're going to sign this one, and we're going to call it finished. I really hope you've enjoyed it. These ovals are fantastic, and you'll have a lot of fun with them. From all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting. God bless, and I look forward to seeing you next time.